Hi, I'm Peter Birch and welcome to my channel. Today guys, I want to talk about baby snakes and how do we get to produce some cool looking baby snakes. That's by doing some really good record keeping. If you're new to my channel, make sure you hit the subscription button guys and the notification button to continue to join the adventure. Welcome to CrittaCam. So I'm going to take you guys through today what I do before I start breeding my snakes. So a little bit of planning, what pairs I want to put together and what outcomes. I sort of do a bit of a whole schedule of that. But more importantly, I put little cards on every cage. So basically I can put the male and the females that I pair together and I number all my animals so I can keep track of what I'm producing. I'll go through and weigh the females, I'll put the introduction dates, and then every time I see the animals copulate, I'll record that. And if I'm lucky enough to see things like ovulations and pre-lay sheds, I'll chuck all that information in here, the lay dates, the numbers of eggs, the numbers of slugs, and then I'll go through and even weigh eggs and count the amount of offspring, and I can put all that information on the back of the card. So it's a nice, quick, easy sort of gather thing. So basically, the whole process starts with picking the males and females, taking the females, just as they're starting to cool down, just like this beautiful girl here, and weighing them. And of course, here in Australia we weigh in grams, not like you crazy Americans, but I don't know why, but you guys actually weigh in grams too when it comes to your snakes, but when it comes to everything else it's ounces or who knows what it is, some crazy witchcraft stuff. So more importantly, I put that information on the cards here. I put the potential pairings that I want to put together, these two animals. That's my project for this particular project, they're marble children, so that female there was a het marble. And then I'll go through and put some sticky dots on my cards so I know exactly what's going on. Well, I try to know exactly what's going on and keep records. That way, if I potentially produce something that's outstanding and it blows me away, I can actually go back through my records, find out who the parents are, and hopefully go back, put the same pairings together and produce some more of the cool stuff. Trying to keep records. That's it's a bit of a nightmare, and as you can see, there's all sorts of things going on here, and you end up with piles and piles of record cards. So I'm going to keep going, and you guys can just watch what we do here. So like I said, I just go through and pick females, potential females that we're going to be doing some pairings with, and we might just start back over here on these big girls and start at the beginning and just work our way through. So once again, these females will be getting paired for this coming season. So I'll go through and start recording information. So 753 grams. That's a big female right there. So the average rule of thumb for a female is 250 grams plus, 18 months of age, and we should get a nice clutch. Big 750 grams, you know, we're expecting a really good clutch out of that female. So we're just going to go through and write her number down, because remember, we need to keep track. M614 is her number. All her information's there, waiting. So when the time comes and we chuck a male in, we're ready to rock and roll. That's the most important thing here. So that's what it's about when it comes down to selective breeding. Picking the coolest animals and hopefully making more cooler animals, whether it be straight genetics or a bit of mixture of madness and pot luck really. Some of it comes down to. And just go through. So those ones are getting ready. Pick another female here, and these females should be cooled down, should all be at their last poops, empty, ready to take that next stage. Hopefully 537 grams. That's pretty cool. And her number is 515. It's like being the mad scientist, right? One can only wish. The madness continues. yeah, I don't know. 2 and 4, they're behaving. I guess there's nothing more satisfying is when you've got an animal like this one right here, this female here, is 10 years old, still holding good condition, and still producing good clutches. That's pretty magnificent right there. And of course, if you don't know already, I hate sheds. That's okay, sweetheart, in you go. Potential, potential, potential.
Why do you have so many?
So many tubs.
Snacks.
Snacks. I love my snacks. I love them a lot. And yes, I've been told many times I've got too many animals, but they're all happy, they're all healthy, they all do their thing. They're here at their forever home. It's always funny, you know, it comes up to breeding season, and usually what happens is everyone starts sending you messages saying, I'm after adult animals, can you help me out? And it's crazy, you know, I've spent a whole year or two growing these animals up just to sell them on. It just doesn't make sense. So it's a bit mind-boggling. And I guess that's where a lot of these pretend breeders come along and buy everyone's sub-adult or adult animals right before breeding season. They chuck them together, and of course the animals just breed, and because it's completely new conditions, they breed, and then everyone's like, oh, check it out, I'm a breeder. But they fail to be able to reproduce those successes year after year, which is kind of crazy, you know. So 9501 is this female. It's a marbled children's, which is a great example of a marbled children's, I must admit. But this particular female, when paired with a certain male, produced some pretty spectacular babies. So we need to produce more of those babies, and then this year some of those babies are actually old enough to be put back together. And the beauty there is once you start doing that, you can backtrack and see exactly what you produced, which is pretty cool. And you can, you know, if you get a result, and a consistent result, then you can prove out whether or not it's a freak of nature. There might be something genetic there on some level, and the only way you can actually get on top of that is have consistent results. Now, I was talking before about having a female that was 10 years old and still being reproducible. This female here is actually Spot's girlfriend. This female here we acquired in 1986. She's sitting at 681 grams. Absolute gorgeous. I guess for most parts, what people are saying is it's a normal.
96.
Eh?
96.
1996, yeah, that's right. I know, it's crazy. But for what most people are saying, it's just a boring, ugly looking spotted python, but there's a lot more to it than that. That's the funny thing, you know, like I was saying before about keeping records, backtracking. So something that I produced 2 years ago actually backtracks to these animals that I've had for 20 odd years. And who would have thought it, to be honest, that there was something there. Never noticed it for 20 odd years, And then one year you sit there and go, hang on a minute, once it's in combination, that's something that's really weird. Now this female here might actually give me a bit of a munch, but that's okay. She's entitled to get a little bit grumpy. Another beautiful example of a spotted python. Just a drop dead gorgeous spotted python right there. But I'm a little bit biased. So like I said, we'll go through and do all these pairings. It's a bit repetitious, I know, but the beauty is we end up with something like this down the track. Let me just pull one of these cards. So this one here, we'll go to this one. So this card here, so basically when the babies hatch, each baby is given a number. So we give them a number, what it could be. This particular female was a pos het, because the two parents that we put together, these two, actual true hets, the year they hatched. So this female was actually hatched in 2013, crazy. Here's the first, basically a lot of 6 to 8 months of information, breeding information and stuff. I only keep information about the first 6 months. Well, after that, you know when they eat and when they don't, and all the rest of it. You can see when they're shedding. So, you know, I've gone through, kept these, marked them out, and then obviously along the way you get to see exactly. So that female there, that was a pos het, is proved out to be a true het. So backtracking where all those babies had come from and the white babies popped up out of those particular clutches. How did that happen? Because the parents, you know, it all gets confusing, but you can backtrack it all and see exactly what's happening. And then when you backtrack it all, you realize that here is one of her sons. So this is the son of this female here. Which is the daughter of this female here, which is the white one's grandmother. So, you know, it gets crazy, but you keep backtracking. And yeah, you're a little bit grumpy, aren't you? So, record keeping's pretty important, I think, especially when it comes to breeding and backtracking certain little projects and all the rest of it. And that way you know exactly what you got. I know it's confusing, but I hope you guys have stuck it out for the long haul. Make sure you give us a like, hit me up on Facebook and Twitter, and don't forget good old Instagram there. Till next time guys, thanks so much for watching CrittaCam.